Greetings and salutations, Renee Box Young, going live this wonderful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. I hope everybody is doing great. Beautiful day out there, man. Enjoying the sunshine down here in Mexico. Man, it's nice and humid. We're in the rainy season, just enjoying it, even though we're sweating, humidity out there with the rainy season. And when the sun comes out, the evaporation gets all humid out there, kind of like at the beach. But just enjoying it, enjoying life. I hope everybody is doing great. I hope everybody is healthy. I know y'all disappointed. I know there are people, the community out there is quite angry. We're going to talk about it. We're going to chop it up. What is going on, man? What is going on? The unexpected happened this week in the sport of boxing, man. And we got to speak out. We got to speak out about this, and I appreciate each and every one of you who are entering the building. I thank you so much. Remember, keep that virtual door open for those who are coming in right now, those who are entering the building, and those who will be entering the live and the duration of this live session. And it's a pleasure. It's an honor, as always, to have my brother, Reggie Owens. How you doing, Reggie Owens?
Man, doing good, man. Ready to talk about yesterday's events. Yeah, you still there? Well, let me go on. But yeah, just ready to get into yesterday's events, man. Real upsetting day in the sport of boxing. It's upsetting to see boxing have to be taken down this road in its return from what we seen put the sport on a hiatus, is to see judges come into the sport and make it all about the dollar, because there was some definite corrupted stuff going on in this fight in order to pull off a scorecard like that. There was no way, no how that Rolly was even close to even pulling a split on any one of those cards, let alone winning unanimously. Like, this is real.
I think maybe it's on my part. Ogden Knight,
Yeah.
thank you so much for tuning in, brother. We're gonna chop this up, definitely, man. And those who are entering, remember to get them likes up. Remember to subscribe, share. If there are not any, if anybody's not subscribed, so we got to really chop this up, man. So can you hear me, Reggie? Everything good?
Yeah. I was rolling while you was out. Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, so we're gonna get this up, man. We're gonna start talking about this. Reggie Owens, first and foremost, everything good over there on your side, bro? Family, all good over there?
Oh yeah, always, man, always.
Right on. So I don't know where the heck to start. First, let's start with this. Let's just start with this, okay? Matter of fact, hold on, guys. Let's just bear with me a couple seconds here. I want to just show you a little bit. I just want to show you all the thumbnail. I had to modify the thumbnail here. It's uploading just real quick. You'll see it in a moment. Okay. Like I said, the internet is kind of lagging here, so it should be up soon in a few seconds. But I had to upload the thumbnail of the live. There you go. If you see it right there. Okay. I did it at the last minute. All right. Originally, I put an announcement of the live show, a couple days ago, got in contact with Reggie, he was down to go with me on live here today. And I made this thumbnail, and it was originally, Benavidez there with his arms up, flexing. And it originally said he lost his belt again, and that's it. But then, after what happened last night, and I modified the thumbnail, man, and I had to add and a robbery too. So man. So let's start first and foremost. Let's start with this. Let's start with Rolly, all right, and his fight.
Oh wait, start over because you froze. We wait for Renee to come back in. The internet's lagging a little bit, so give it a second. So I'll just continue to hold it down till he gets back. What's up, my brother Ogden? Salute, my brother. D Hod's in the building. Salute.
We got D Hodges in the building. Appreciate you, man.
Oh,
yeah,
hey, you got to start over, Renee. You had dropped out.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't know why, man. This internet's kind of lagging a little bit, so it's all good. So D Hodges, let's salute the chat real quick, and I'll get back to what I was saying. D Hodges, what up, Renee and Reggie, LDBC, salute chat and family. Thank you so much, man, for tuning in. Jay Cooley's up in the building too, man. That's what's up, man. Jay Cooley, what up, family? Definitely, man. Yeah, boxing conversations with Reggie Owens putting this comment there. Give it a second, it'll restart. Definitely, yeah. Chat, just in case just in case y'all see me. This happened last week. I don't know why, like at this specific time. Sometimes last week this happened with Ms. Boxing. Salute to her. She was on, and I don't know if you guys noticed, if you guys were tuning into that show, that my internet cut off, and then I just got kicked out of the platform. So just in case that happens, just bear with me a couple minutes, and I'll come right back in, and Reggie can just take over. So we got thanks so much, Jay Cooley. Ben told y'all Rolly can't fight. Man, wow. Man, Jay Cooley, he read Rolly. Wow, man. Thank you so much. Salute to the chat one more time. And thank you guys for jumping in. So we're going to get to it. So what I was saying is that, my first impression, when Rolly was in the ring walk and he looked all hyped up, he looked ready to go. And I was actually hyped up about it. I thought that Rolly was going to show us something. I thought he was going to really, dominate the fight. That was just my first impression, because I was talking about right before they fought. Remember, Reggie, when do you remember when a clip came out of Rolly sparring Ryan Garcia? You remember that?
Yeah, y'all remember seeing something about it. Yeah.
And do you remember how did that sparring go? Just that clip, at least.
I believe he ended up winning the sparring, or I think Ryan and him pulled out. But that's the problem with these guys. These guys get a little bit overexcited about sparring and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You're right on the nose, man. That hit the nail right on the nose. That right in the head. And I was talking about that while they were doing the ring walk. And that's why I was excited, honestly. I got a little bit too hyped up. I got a little bit too emotional on Rolly, thinking that, and I was recalling that sparring session. And that was years ago. That was when, if I remember, Rolly in his professional career had like 4 fights. He was just getting into pro, and which is why he was, I guess that must be a reason to why Rolly was sparring Ryan Garcia like that. He was just all over the place. He was just like years ago, and I was explaining this when the ring walk, while Rolly was when the ring walk, Martinez, and I was, hyped up explaining these details. Do you, Reggie Owens, I'm not getting off it, but it relates. Remember Sean Porter when he fought, years ago, his style in the ring? How would you describe it? Before he fought Danny Garcia, before he fought Ugas, how would you describe Porter like years ago when he would fight in the ring?
Me, I never got into where people dog Sean Porter. Sean Porter's style reminds me of Aaron Pryor. So I'm like, how can I say I'm a fan of Aaron Pryor and knock Sean Porter? So I never knocked Sean Porter.
That's cool. And it reminded me of that. Rolly kind of reminded me of a Sean Porter when he was sparring Ryan Garcia. And, he was just all over them, pressuring him, and Ryan Garcia with his chin up high, in the air as he does. Ryan Garcia looking stiff, as he sometimes still does, and he did totally he just roughed up Ryan Garcia in that sparring session. That was years ago. Now, the reason why I say all this is because when Rolly was doing the ring walk, I was excited. I was, saying, wow, look at Rolly. He's ready. Look at the demeanor on his face. He's just ready to go. Wow. He's looking through his soul. Look at the face off, in the middle of the ring with the referee. Wow. He's going to show us something, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Wow. And, first round, he did all right. Rolly did all right. But then, okay, the rest of the rounds, Martinez, man, was just beautifully boxing, using his jab wonderfully, fighting at a distance, catching Rolly constantly. And when Rolly would jump in because of his height disadvantage, Rolly, the shorter guys typically try to run in, jump in, go to the body and rough up the taller fighter. Same thing happened with Wallin and Tyson Fury. I was also explaining that before, when I was calling the fights, the heavyweight fight. And, Wallin being the shorter guy when he fought Tyson Fury, just typically, generally speaking, the shorter guys, when they fight taller guys, lengthier guys, they try to go in on the inside and roughen up, go to the body and things of that nature. So when Rolly, what he would constantly do, he would throw his jab, he would lunge in with the jab, And what Marinez did is he would counter with like a double jab, boom, boom, and stop Rolly. He would really frustrate him. He started doing that around round 2, 3, and then he just took over for the rest of the rounds. I virtually didn't see, Rolly winning any round. I mean, maybe round 1. And then I was like, wow, I was like blown away. I was thinking, wow, Marinez is really, really boxing greatly. He is boxing greatly. Of course, he got caught a few times by Rolly, who doesn't get caught, right? With some nice power punches. And we got to give a lot of credit to Marinez, man, because he took them punches well. And Rolly, in the post-fight conference, he said, I was landing the cleaner shots and I hurt him. Oh my gosh. First and foremost, bro, what's your general reaction? We're not getting to the decision yet, but what's your general post-fight reaction on the fight in general? How did the fight go out to you in the rounds and then the skills that they brought in the ring last night?
I saw this fight 9 rounds to 3. And I seen it because even in going into this fight, when he was walking in the ring, people speak of Rolly, and I always speak of Rolly. I think the motherfucker's a head case. I done met the kid out here. The kid got the look he was putting on before the fight started. I'm like, man, yeah. I don't know if he got to go into getting himself into character. Like you see some actors getting into this realm of having to get in character. If he does this to kind of lock himself into a fight. But I'm like, the dude doesn't click right and mentally to me. But then it's like, I'm wondering how he's going to fight. I don't know too much about Romero'S, but I'm like, with Rolly having this identity of being a knockout artist, that always bothers me with fighters who focus way too much on delivering one-punch knockouts. And even before we said in my live stream before the fight started, I was like, how is Rolly going to react if he goes in here with a fighter who can take his punches, who can roll with the punches, and Rolly never delivers that shot? But now he has to deal with a guy who can box with him. How does Rolly go about his plan following something like that? And it showed. This guy was able to take every punch that Rolly tagged him with. He rolled with everything. And when he got hit clean, when the guy got hit clean by Rolly, it had zero effect on him. Then you see Rolly acting real shy to throw out a jab. It was almost like Rolly didn't know how to throw a jab. Everything about Rolly was to throw in the short power shots, throwing hooks. Really mainly hooks to the body. Didn't even try to, not to the body, but to the head. Didn't rarely ever target the body, but here it is, the lack of a jab, and this is an issue. Then you look at his feet. There's no footwork from this guy. He's planted. That shows another guy who's too focused on delivering knockout punches. Then between each round, this is where I turn the volume up to hear what's coming from the instructions of the corner. And then hearing the instructions from the corner showed the lack of experience, showed how lost these guys are. All the corner was telling Rolly to do was find the opening, throw the hook, let him shoot, counter it, find the shot. So that's all the plan is. Then it was like, as the fight went down later and they got desperate, here's the coach telling Rolly, all right, don't worry about it. He's holding a lot. They're going to take a point. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what the hell's going on? Then what I'm seeing from the rest, Harvey Dock pissed me off in that fight. He was doing way too much interfering with the fight, kept warning the other guy. And I'm thinking like, damn, did they pay the damn ref off? Only to learn they really paid the damn judges off. But seeing Harvey Dock stepping in there anytime they got on the inside, not letting the fighters work from the inside or fight their way out, just coming in there quickly to break it up. But in here, this guy just schooled Rolly. And this is what everybody was saying. Even in my chat, I had watched yours earlier, watched some other streams, and everybody speaks the same talk. And even when Showtime ran the post-fight, they got to talking to Rolly about 80% of the people in their Twitter or whatever they got the numbers from say that he lost the fight. And then Rolly on his Instagram, I look, why we doing this? He said that he'll give the guy a rematch. And this is where a mistake can be made. Rolly talking about he won the fight. He hurt the guy multiple times. I didn't see the guy hurt not once. Rolly said he was the aggressor, which he was aggressor maybe in the early stages of the fight. Then he shelled up. And then he said he controlled the fight. He says he went six rounds to 12 rounds. I don't know what he meant by that, with a little amateur and pro experience. So here he's bringing this pro experience. But this is the thing that bothers me. And it's the thing with a lot of these champs, with a lot of these young fighters, I should say. He says, I started this sport 7 years ago, and now I'm champ. And that's all it is them trying to be the earliest to becoming a champion. And I think that's a fucking jip to the sport. It's also jipping these damn fighters, because Rolly's put in position to get the title for what? He ain't ready. And that's why the sport needs to be fair. These judges need to be fired for that bullshit they pulled last night.
Definitely, man. And the thing here is that after round 3, and it's exactly what you're saying, that it looked like the corner didn't know what to do, much less Rolly. What happened was that he was just lunging in with his jab, all night long. I mean, round after round, doing the same thing. And what would Marinez do? Counter with the double jab, counter with the triple jab, you know? And, I mean, it looked like Rolly was doing the same thing over and over and over. And I was thinking, bro, you got to do something else, man. What's going on? It looks like he's just limited. He doesn't have more dynamics. And that's exactly what you're saying, that also that I'm getting kind of tired of I'm getting kind of tired of fighters who only just look for the knockout. I mean, I used to like it. I mean, it seems like this really turned me off last night with fighters that just only depend on power. It's a very limited strategy. I mean, it's a lack of dynamics and tools that a fighter brings into the ring if they're just focusing on power. And that's exactly what Rolly was doing. He was just focusing, just exactly what you're saying, that trying to get some hooks on the inside, which he did land a few of them, of course, throughout the night, but it really didn't phase, Marina, or what's his name? Marinez, sorry. And the thing here is that, did you see Reggie, that, in the duration of the fight, when the rounds were going by, Marinez was so confident, his arms were down. He was throwing up his arm now. He was throwing up his glove, towards round 8 at the end of each round. Like he got the win in the bag. It kind of reminds me of Mikey Garcia when he did that, right? With Spence. Even though Mikey was losing every single round, and when the bell rang, ding, to go to their corners, he would lift up his arm like a victory win. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Mikey, you're getting beat, dude. You're getting schooled each round, but it's all good, right? But it reminded me, towards the end of the fight, last rounds, Marinez was throwing up his glove, like he had the win in his bag, and he rightly did it. I mean, I think he maybe was getting a little bit cocky, but whatever, right? Confidence is a little high, but it's all good. But I was thinking, Marinez, you're pretty well. I mean, you're doing it for a reason, because you got the fight in the bag. You're boxing out Rolly wonderfully. And the thing here is that, getting back to what I was saying at this point, that Marinez, he was boxing out Rolly so well that his arms were down, his guard was down. He was just like playing with them. Derek Bailey, he was tuning on the live when I was calling the fight. Derek Bailey said, "Man, this is like a sparring session for Marinez. This is like sparring. He's just playing with Rolly, man." I mean, it was so lopsided. The fight was so lopsided. It's hard for me to believe. I couldn't believe it. And so when round 12 was over, okay, I said, man, if one of these judges, got Rolly winning, this is just a robbery, man. This is just. And then what happened, man? Did you hear the scorecards, Reggie? Do you remember?
Hell yeah, I wrote the scorecard and the judges' names down. I ain't gonna. This ain't never sliding.
Put it out there. Who are they, and what were the score?
All right, let me get to my book real quick.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, wait, just before you say it, Reggie, let me see if I remember. I think it was 113, 115. And then this is just off the bat, see if I remember correctly. 112, 119, and 111, 118, something like that.
Yeah, wait, say that one more time. Yeah, I got the wrong book. Yeah,
it's all good. Go ahead and find it. But while you find it, I think off the bat, if I remember correctly, it was last night. So I mean, I think it was 113, 115, and 119, 110, something like that. Or 118, 111, I think, and then 119, 110. I think that was the scorecards. And while they were saying that, I was thinking, if those points are for Rolly, I was thinking, no, those have to be for Marinez. The winner of all those, in the scorecards has to be Marinez, hands down. But then they lift up his arm, Rolly's. I was just speechless. Did you get the cards there?
Yeah, so we got the first card was from Don Torella, who before this fight came on, when he judged the Adewale and Kaufman fight. When he gave Kaufman a round, I made a comment about him, like, what the hell was he watching to even give Kaufman a round? But he scored it 115, 113. And when I'm thinking like, God damn, what fight was he watching? I'm like, that scorecard's too close.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going for Moran's. Then you had Glenn Feldman, 116, 112. I said, God damn, that's too close, but it's still wide enough. I said, well, at least the guy got the round, but these cards are way too close. And then when I heard 118, 110 from Frank Lombardi, I was like, that's more like it. But then to see they went all for this other dude, so I drew question because Feldman and this Don Chirilla, when I'm looking at their records, they ref a lot of fights together. And when you look at their cards are always 1 point off or always similar. And I'm like, I could be throwing a little conspiracy on the shit, but some shit just looks very odd to me. And looking at what happened in this fight last night was BS. And maybe there's something twisted about this damn commission out there. This was also the guy who officiated, who was that? Feldman is the one who officiated Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao. He gave the fight to Keith Thurman. Lombardi was the one who refed Sergey Kovalev versus Triple G versus Sergey Derevyanchenko. He gave the fight to Triple G in that fight where Derevyanchenko was clearly whooping the shit out of Triple G. So it just adds into the level of disgust when it comes to these judges. The sport's been on a hiatus. It returns and you get some bullshit like this. Like, this shit ain't cool. Yeah, go ahead. All right, I'm gonna keep going until Renee gets back. So, but yeah, man, this is just disgusting shit, man. Just watching a fight like this, and I think the appeals need to be put out there by this Jackson Moran's cat. Him and his team definitely need to go about an immediate appeal of this fight. I see Rolly's talking about doing a rematch. Rolly don't deserve to touch that belt, but they do need to fight again. The sanctioning body needs to be investigated as well, and these judges need to be suspended and pushed away from the sport. And I think two of them, like, in the Hall of Fame. So are these retired? If you're in the Hall of Fame, don't that mean you're retired? Why are these dudes still judging fights? And maybe Connecticut doesn't have a board that really does boxing. So why is boxing being brought out there? Was it brought out there to put in the fix for this type of shit? So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, and the other thing that bugs me out about it is what these fighters have to go through to prepare for a fight, especially a championship fight. You putting 12 rounds of work in. You going 12 rounds to get this work done and get stuck by a judge. You got to be away from your family. You got to do all these protocols of not getting sick with COVID. You seen what happened to Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy Steph, right, where he got pulled from a fight because he catches coronavirus. So now you do all this stuff, and this is like the most difficult time that any fighter has had as far as preparation than probably in the history of this game, except maybe when the Spanish flu was around. But no, I don't think they took the precautions like we do today. This is the most hardest precautions fighters got to take. Go in the ring, you put on a performance that ain't even close, and you get screwed like that, man. These dudes and Robert Garcia better not let this shit ride.
Now, what you were saying earlier, about like a conspiracy or something like that. I think it's totally legit to think these things. Real quick before I get to that point that you talked about a moment ago, let's get to the chat real fast. People are showing up and coming up. Man, that's awesome. Phenomenal Mexican salute, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. Great stuff. Let me get here. Got Reggie Owens. Facts. It was sparring for Marinas. Definitely. He was just having fun sparring. His guard was down. He was just boxing away. Bam, bam, bam. Beautiful, beautiful. Phenomenal Mexican says, from round 7 to 12, Rolly didn't win a single. Exactly. Round. How the heck, right? How the heck did they have it 118, 110? I have no idea, man. Cursor is in the building. Sniper salute. What is going on, Cursor? How you doing, bro? Everything good, man? Everything good? I thank you so much for tuning in, family. Thanks so much for tuning in, jumping in and this in the building here. Yeah, saluting each other. So Reggie, something that you said like that, like a conspiracy theory, a lot of people misinterpret, or I would say just get a little bit too crazy with that phrase. I think a lot of times it's just logical reasoning. You know what I mean? It's logical reasoning. And this is exactly why, as you guys see in the thumbnail, I just posted it in the screen so you could get a visualization of my personal thoughts. You know, I mean, look at Floyd Mayweather there. Look at Floyd Mayweather there. He's sitting, you know, what do you get first? First, Reggie, what's your interpretation of Floyd Mayweather there in this image and Rolly right there? What do you think of what I'm trying to say there visually?
Oh man, Floyd clearly stated when he wore that exact costume that it was a robbery. It was a bank heist, and he robbed the game. He paid these judges off, man.
Exactly. This is exactly why, you know, I alluded to that with this thumbnail. And you know, I mean, a lot of people thinking about it and logically thinking that, you know, obviously Rolly, he's under TMT, he's in TMT. Mayweather promotion, sorry. And, you know, this really made me think that, you know, Floyd bought these guys off, these judges off. I mean, it was totally, you know, this for me, okay, this is how I say it. I've been reflecting on it in the duration of since last night and today. You know, I was doing some things out and about today. I came back home and I was just thinking, man, I was like, you know what, this win, quote unquote win, false win, I'm going to call it. You know what? There's so many things going on in my mind right now. Right now, Reggie Owens was explaining the post-fight conference where Rolly was being asked questions, and that's where he came out with the percentage. Where because in that interview, one you know, the host or whoever was in control of the session said, yeah, or I think it was somebody who jumped in for questions, a media member, whatever. Yeah, approximately 78 or 77% of social media or people on Twitter or whatever thought that you lost, Rolly. What do you say to that or whatever? So, you know, what kind of annoyed me in that post press conference was, well, there was a few things that annoyed me, but one of them was I didn't like this. This was not the way to do it. I know you're trying to be nice. I know you're trying to be respectful, but Rolly didn't deserve media people as telling him when you know how it's a customary when media members and reporters, when they're in a press conference, press conference, the first thing they say to the winner, what do they say? Hey, congrats for your win, congratulations for your win. And we had media people, you know, when they were going to talk to Rolly, congratulations for your win, Rolly. They shouldn't even have said that. You know, they shouldn't even say, oh, congratulations for your win. That was a false win. That was a fake win. That was a robbery, man. And those guys should have had the awareness and should have had the you know, thoughts of saying, I'm not even going to tell him congratulations, because it wasn't even a win, man. It was a fake win, a robbery. And it really got me mad, man. And, you know, Raleigh's like, yeah, thank you. Yeah. You know, it's like, no. You know, you lost. And I mean, fair and square. I mean, just look at the facial expression. You look at his face. I mean, like, I'm not judging, you know, a book by the cover, but you can tell in the post press conference, he was like, you know, I mean, you can kind of tell that he knew. Also, like Reggie said a moment ago, but here in Mexico, okay, I'm watching it. I watched the fight here in Mexico on ESPN. The guys in Spanish, man, the commentators in Spanish, they knew. I mean, they knew it. They blatantly said, you know, right after the round 12, ding, 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 fight's over. They were saying, oh, yeah, Marinas, he won the fight clearly, and this and that, you know what I mean? This and that. And they're like, we'll see what the judges say, right? And I mean, and they even said, you know, when the robbery was announced and lifted up Rolly's fist, you know, they said Juan Manuel Marquez, he was there too. He commentates constantly on ESPN on these fights. Juan Manuel Marquez was there, and he even said, you know what? Look at you can even see in his bodily expression, his body language. After the fight, what did Rolly do? You remember, Reggie?
Yeah, he's all there praying and patting his chest.
Exactly, man. He went to the corner, prayed. It's all good. That's his thing. But what I'm trying to get at, you can just tell by his body language. He knew he lost. Man. And that's what getting now. What I want to say here also is that this makes what I was saying at the beginning. This makes Rolly look worse. This makes, you know, I mean, I respect Floyd Mayweather for his professional fighting career. I mean, hands down. I mean, amazing fighter in the ring. I've said it time and time again on my channel. Everybody knows that, or you know, the followers here, you know, or subscribers on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. I always give that respect to Floyd, man. Always have. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. My hat's off to Floyd as a fighter. But this, as a promoter, and he has had that reputation to be a selfish, whatever, right? Being kind of conceited, me, money, only me, whatever, right? Even, I mean, it's not my business, but you can even tell, even his children, even his kids, his daughters. If I'm not mistaken, one of his daughters the other day posted in social media that, saying that, Floyd is not a good father. I mean, because he's just too focused thinking that money might, bring solutions to everything. But, what I'm trying to say is that here as a promoter, okay, what happened last night, it made me really lose my respect for Floyd, man. I mean, I don't, I think I'm jumping to a conclusion. I guess we can call it a conclusion, but it's a logical conclusion that I personally think, I really do think that Floyd, paid off these judges, man. Or am I really outlandish in saying this, Reggie? Do you think so? And do you think that many think the same?
Man, someone in the promotion has something to do it, but Floyd ain't the only one. All these motherfuckers doing. Canelo done had these decisions.
True.
Bob Arum fighters done had decisions like that. But the problem is, these motherfuckers need to regulate the sport. They need to. If commissioners see, well, even without a fighter having to go back to put in an appeal, these commissioners sit back there and they watch what the hell is going on. And it's time for these commissioners to start waking up and saying, nah, you judges got a hearing. You need to come speak with us. That same Adelaide Bird chick, she was suspended by Nevada after all this shit came down on her when public pressure was put on her, but she's right back to judging fights. They know what the hell's going on. But the other thing is, like, looking at this fight, is demeanor is everything. Body language is everything. Each round in this fight, you slowly started to watch the demeanor and confidence of Rolly start to fade away after each round. He'll walk back after the round is over, walk back to the corner, head down. Moran's pumping his fists after every round. Then you get to doing the air guitar shit.
Yep.
He's just so confident. 12th round, he clowned roll. He already got his hands up cheering. I'm like, man, don't celebrate.
Oh, yeah, during the fight. Yeah, that 12.
Yeah, don't celebrate too early, man. Get this round over. And Rolly got nothing. Then Rolly gets a cut on his eye. Rolly got that slight cut on his eye. He never dealt with that type of adversity. He up there tripping, rubbing that eye the whole time. That cut wasn't bad enough for him to be rubbing it on it and tripping. I watched Jojo Diaz with one of the worst cuts, a Tyson Fury level cut, and not even touch that shit. Go right back in there with I forgot who he was fighting, but go right back in there thumping out with the guy. Rolly,
Tevin Farmer, I think it was Tevin Farmer.
Tevin Farmer. Yeah, Jojo didn't even touch that. Rolly up there rubbing at a slight cut, and he kept doing it ever since the cut opened in like round 6 or 7. So it distracted him. It pulled him away from letting his hands go. But then when you go into even the corners, they were not confident as well as they looking for a point deduction. Never heard no shit like that. Then when they announcing the fight, when they're announcing it, he over there with his head down, praying, patting on his chest like please. Then he gets the nod. So I mean, this is just the disgusting side of this game. But like you said, man, somebody in Mayweather Promotions definitely paid these judges off. Definite.
Wow, man. Wow. And you're that's interesting. You point out the cut. I didn't really think about that angle. And you can tell, I mean, actually, okay, throughout the fight, I was saying, wow, Rolly, I mean, he really needs to work on a lot of strategy. He needs to, get back to the drawing board. I was saying that around halfway through the fight when I was calling the fight in my channel, like I think round 7 or something like that. I was saying, Rolly, if he loses this fight, he really needs to get back to the drawing board and work on a lot of things. And I even said this, favoring Rolly. I was saying, you know what? But it's all good. One loss doesn't define your career. I mean, he'll get back at it. It's all good, man. But this is going to really help him, as a learning. This is gonna serve as a learning experience for Rolly. I was saying that constantly when I saw that Marinez was just getting the rounds in the bag, outboxing him. I was like, it's all good, but Marinez is doing beautifully and et cetera, et cetera. But I was thinking, if Rolly loses, if he doesn't knock out Marinez, because we're not done yet, so we'll see, right? We were around round 7, 8. I said this is gonna really help Rolly in his experience and grow. So it's all good. And now, interesting what you're saying there about the cut. that shows how, and exactly what you're talking about. Jojo Diaz, even Tyson Fury, man, those horrible gashes. Oh my gosh, dude, when you oh my god, even like it was even kind of, I'm not the type of person that can behold a lot of blood. And actually, let me give you a little quick story, all you guys who are listening. This was years ago. I used to work in a company, and I was actually like the janitor guy. It was actually when I was studying for the career I'm in right now. I was studying and working, okay? And I was, I had a paramedic. We would talk a lot there. He was like the company, I don't know what you call it, but he was like the company medic, I guess. So that when injuries happen, he would attend to them. He was the paramedic there for emergencies. So, we would talk a lot, and, he would he showed me his laptop one day. He said, "Hey, check out, look at what I do. This is just a little bit so you can see what I do in my job, in my field." And he was actually inviting me. He said, "Hey, you should come with me one day in the ambulance. I'll take you around. It's all good. I can get you in." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll think about it." Yeah. And oh my gosh, dude, he showed me his laptop with photos. He said, "Let me show you some emergency calls I've been at." And he started showing me some, oh my God, it was horrible. A man almost beaten to death. A lady who was, oh my gosh, like half naked, shot, blown to pieces, man, by a rifle. Oh my, a shotgun or something in the middle of nowhere. Dude, he showed me some graphic stuff. He said, "Oh, here's another one where a taxi driver got in an accident. His head, his scalpel, like this is his forehead, it was just, oh my God, it was just so graphic, dude. It was so graphic, like half of his head blown off, from the car accident." And he was just showing me picture after picture. There was another one. I remember there was a man, she took a picture of him that he was burned to the bone. His legs were burned to the bone. But he was still alive, I guess, in the hospital. Oh my gosh, he was showing me picture after picture. And all of a sudden what happened was I started getting nauseous. And I was going to throw up because he was just showing picture after picture, explaining each picture. Obviously, to medics and people in that field, they're used to that kind of stuff. They adapt to that and they love what they do, right? Whatever. And I was just going to throw up. I said, "You know what? Stop. I got to throw up, man." And I was right there in the office with him. And he ran. He said, "Hey, wait a moment." And he got a cotton ball, like put some alcohol or something on it. And he said, smell this. I smelt it, and boom, it went away so quick. That nauseousness went away. I said, "Oh my gosh." He says, "I guess you can't handle those kinds of photos, huh?" So the reason why I say all this up, just when it comes to gore and things like that, man, oh my gosh. And Jojo Diaz, man, that gash, Tyson Fury, that gash, the list goes on and on. You go back to, who was it? The name doesn't come to my mind, but it was a Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, thank you. Yes, man, you're good. You read my mind. Badu Jack in the center of his eye, man, in the center of his eyes, that big old gash in his forehead. Oh my gosh, that was so vicious. But what I'm saying is this: that shows Rolly being, having that little. I don't even think there was blood coming out, man. I didn't even see any blood coming out of his eyebrow. That little nick was affecting him. That shows the difference of elite, championship level fighters and someone like Rolly. I mean, Rolly has a lot to grow on, as far as, skills and technique that he brings in the ring, exactly what you were saying, Reggie, footwork, and just depending on that hook all the time. He has a lot to grow on. And for him to take this interim belt, whatever they call it, man, it disgusted me, man. It disgusted me. Post press conference, he's saying, now he wants all the names, and I kind of want to see him fight a real challenger, a real champion, elite fighter in that division, just to take him out, man. So that, I mean, what goes around comes around, right, Reggie? What goes around comes around. I think I look at it as divine justice. I think sooner or later, man, it's going to be out in the open what's going to happen to him as far as in the ring. He's going to probably face somebody unless he gets protected or whatever by his promotional company, right? But I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think is going to happen after this, Reggie? What do you think is going to happen with Rolly, like in his career? Will he be protected?
He got to take that rematch.
No, but it's not. But it's not. But is it a clause? Does he have to?
He ain't gonna get away from it, man. This decision has reversed itself on Rolly. It's done nothing to help him. It's been the worst thing to ever happen to him because he didn't earn it. And now he's even talking about rematch because he's hearing everything that's coming out of him. All of his peers are knocking him. So if your peers don't respect you, you must go back in there and earn it. He needs to go back and work on some things. Like, that's why when they show a lot of these fighters sparring videos, when they release them, and it's always highlights of them knocking people out or doing this and that. I watch some of it if I know if it's somebody who I can see with skills, but with a guy like that, you don't show any other technical side to what you got. I turn that shit because I'm like, oh, this is just
trying to hype him up.
Yeah, just trying to put hype around something. I'm like, man, these cats ain't ready. But I didn't think they was going. I thought this was just a step up. I had no idea it was for a damn vacant belt until I was putting my damn clip art up, and I'm like what the hell is up with all these damn title opportunities? Like, who has this dude fought to get a damn title opportunity or to even get in the hunt? Like, this is the other problem with the sport. Why are people getting opportunities? This is why the WBA getting sued as it is. I believe that's the one that Austin Trout is suing. But this adds to the reasoning behind suing these damn sanctioning bodies. They create an opportunity for bullshit people because some people come from well-off or well-known promotional companies are getting unwarranted opportunities. But I also said, going into this fight is I don't want to underestimate this dude because I'm like, these guys who come from these other nations, they fight for a whole lot more. They come from deeper levels of poverty. They fight for a whole lot more. Pride means a lot to them. They ain't on here showboating, clout chasing, all that shit. They in there locked in. And especially when they know what boxing can do for them and change the whole dynamics of their financial situations, they go and they put the work in. And when they come over here, they don't give two shits. You see that with foreigners. Even with Madonna, before the money fucked him over, he didn't give two fucks about who Floyd Mayweather was. He came in there, treated Floyd like he was beneath Adrian Broner, and he thought he was gonna knock his head off. They don't care about you when they coming from somewhere else fighting for a whole lot more. And plus, they got the pride of a nation on their back. Like our fighters over here, man, we got great talent over here. It's just that the distractions become too major for people to be focused. I didn't seen athletes throughout my life lose focus. You get a little bit of attention, a little bit of fame following you, and that fame becomes more of a drug, and it pulls away from the dedication to get in there. And people talk about the Mayweather gym. That's the same thing with the gym. There's a lot of distractions, not based on what Floyd has done, but based on how undisciplined the environment these kids come from. They just want to be around that name of Floyd, and it makes them feel like something. They bring people in and feel like they done made it, and they do half-ass shit. A lot of those kids disrespect the coaches they have. There's some good coaches there, but they don't listen to shit.
Man, very true, man. And what you're saying a moment ago that kind of slipped my mind. What was it? You're saying something because I'm looking at the chat here. Let's get to the chat real quick and then we get back to that. Because you just said something. I'm going to get back to what you just said. Something really important you just said a moment ago. Let me get to the chat real quick. Phenomenal Mexican says, boxing conversation with Reggie Owens too. You can even make a case that Rolly didn't win any round. That's the thing. Exactly. That's what I was saying, Phenomenal Mexican. That's how I saw it, bro. That's how I saw it. I saw the first round. Okay, I gave it to Rolly. But, 2, 3, 4, it looks like, man, Marina's just figured him out, man. He just figured out the Rolly blueprint, and it was game over, man. It was Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, man. I appreciate you. Y'all showing up, man. Y'all showing up today. I really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I really definitely appreciate y'all, man. We got here Reggie Owens saying on the real, that's a legit case. I only gave him 3 rounds. Wow, man. Awesome. Ogden Knight. I find it really sad if judges get paid off. I mean, I think they do get. I don't think this is really like an if thing here. I think they do get paid off. Maybe not all of them, but man, what we saw last night was just one example of many examples. Man, I mean, it's just horrible. As a matter of fact, we when I don't remember when it was, Reggie. Just recently in our Boxing Then and Now series we got with Curtis and Stormer, B-Man and you. We talked about that with judges. I mean, that, Don King, or we talked about how Don King had them in the bag, man. He had them in his back pocket, inviting them to dinners, giving them the luxuries of life, and that, befriending them, and that's sometimes what promoters do, man. So, I think it's a case of it really does happen. It really, really does happen, especially learning from the OGs, from Reggie also in the series. You just get deep into the history of things, and this stuff just happens, history repeats itself. history repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Owens saluting Supreme Boxing Talk. We got here Ogden continuing. How could someone walk around knowing they beat a nobody? Now, let me get to this real quick with Ogden and what Reggie was saying a moment ago. Let me get I am Ill Will is in the house. Go subscribe to I Am Ill Will. Go subscribe to Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens 2. That's his backup channel and his original channel, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Go ahead and subscribe. Phenomenal Mexican continues here. He says, talking to Reggie here, Rolly is very predictable with that screaming, and he does when he throws punches. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Phenomenal Mexican continue. Marquez has had a broken nose against Pacquiao and never panicked. Yeah, man. I mean that's the thing. Championship level fighters, elite level caliber fighters, man. They don't. I mean, they are warriors. They are warriors. Cuts and broken bones don't really affect them. They just go out and complete the mission, man. And that's just something to admire. Definitely. That's something to really admire. Tone Brown. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Tone Brown. Thanks so much, man. For real. Who has Rolly beat to deserve a title shot? I mean, that's the thing. What Reggie Owens is also was saying a moment ago, that it questions that gives you another angle to question, with the, Mayweather Promotions, and how the heck did Rolly get this opportunity? I have no idea. Well, I do have an idea, paychecks under the table, man. I mean, that's what it is. It's sad, but it's true. Derek Bailey, salute, brother. Just referenced you a moment ago about what you were saying in the fight that I was calling yesterday. So thank you so much, man. D Hodges is also in the building. Y'all showing up. I really appreciate you. Now, back to what Reggie was saying. I was going to say a moment ago that Reggie said something amongst a lot of things he's saying, important things here, that this is just like what Reggie said. And he said it in a way better way, that, this is going to be worse for Rolly. This is going to be worse for him. Him getting the belt unjustly, unfairly, in a robbery, in a robbery fashion. It's going to look worse for him. It's going to backfire, just like what Reggie said. It's going to backfire on him, because now imagine how much more guilt or pressure or whatever we want to call it, consequences is he going to receive just by social media. Just after the fight, okay, when they called that robbery, I'm not even going to call it a victory, man. When they called the robbery, if I do call it a victory, I'm going to call it a false victory, a false win, man, a false victory. When they called that robbery, I said, one of the first things I said after that, when I was calling the fight, I said, man, social media and the boxing platforms are going to go off. Just watch it. A few seconds, man. The whole world, the whole boxing community is going to go off on this. That's exactly what's happening. Rolly, at his age, Ryan Garcia, all these young guys, man, all these young fighters, they're in social media every day, man. They're in social media every single day. They're checking on it. They're tuning in, and I'm sure they're tuning in the channels, boxing channels. They're listening, you know what I'm saying? And imagine what Rolly's going to feel. And just like what Reggie said, it's going to backfire. All this is going to backfire. That's what I said a moment ago, that divine justice is going to come upon this guy, man. I mean, and his team better learn it, or whoever the heck was doing those behind the door deals, behind closed doors deals, crooked and shady nonsense that we're tired of seeing in the sport of boxing. I can't believe that they actually, it surprised me because, on top of, we're going to get to that in a moment, of the whole issue and thing that happened to Benavidez before the fight. I'm not talking about his performance in the ring. Definitely not. He did great. But before the fight of Benavidez, first that, now this, that really, you know what? I got to the point of when I saw that false decision, horrible decision, when I saw the robbery announced, I didn't even want to see the Benavidez fight. I was like, man, what the heck am I going to see? With those judges, forget this. I didn't even want to see it. I actually didn't even see the whole fight of Benavidez. I just saw a couple rounds, and I'm going to go take a shower, because Derek Bailey was tuning in last night, and I said, hey, I'm going to go take a shower. And, I just totally got turned off. I got turned off to watch the Benavidez fight. I was like, why am I going to see this? Why am I going to see this horrible, judges? I don't want to see the next fight. And I really didn't see it. I saw a few rounds since last night, and now, I just saw like 5 rounds total. I couldn't find the words. So, I don't know what, any other last words you got on the Rolly case, and then we're going to get to Benavidez, Reggie.
No, just better judge, man. If fighters are put under the microscope, judges should too. Everybody else, promoters should, because these are motherfuckers who do the least amount of work. They ain't got to do shit but sit on their ass, pass papers around, and they should not be without criticism, without guilt placed upon them as well. They got to be disciplined. They got to be disciplined on their job the same way these fighters have to. And these fighters' lives are at risk every time they go in here. And judges who do shit like that make the fighters' lives put at risk even more as well. You get fighters who have to go in, and because these fighters are competitive, abandoning game plan because they don't want to leave shit to the judge's scorecard. And you get fighters who are just highly technical boxers going out there risking themselves to try to get a knockout just so they ain't got to deal with a damn judge who's supposed to be doing his job honorably, doing it properly, sanctioned commissions who's supposed to be doing honorable shit, supposed to be disciplined in the way they regulate and watch over this sport. Ain't none of them fools doing that shit. And we put a lot of emphasis on what fighters have to do. Nah, the motherfuckers who structure this shit need to be held accountable, need to be criticized and shit talked about them. I don't know, man. That's one of the fights that bug me, man. I ain't gonna say it's gonna take me away from watching boxing, because I'm a diehard fan of boxing. How people are diehard fans for NFL franchises or NBA franchises, NHL franchises. I like boxing like that. I don't watch none of that other shit. I like boxing to the T. I love fighting, grew up fighting. We born learning to fight. So shit, this is what I like. And you get something that's supposed to have organization around it, and it's just not there, man. It's just not there. So I think some fools need to be suspended and fined. Maybe the money from these judges that they paid for them shouldn't be paid for them, because these judges got paid anyway. But that's all I got on that.
You're right. I just got really discouraged. And one thing here I want to make clear, I'm not, Rolly, big ups to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not discouraging Rolly in any way. I do really disagree with him in the post-fight conference where he said, I was landing the harder shots and I was, being the aggressor. And I mean, everybody who has eyeballs, you know what I'm saying, and who watched the fight, they all beg to differ. We all beg to differ. This is why we're talking about this. And, the fault is with these crooked, these crooked guys with suits. The judges. That's who I'm criticizing more. I mean, Rolly was just in there doing his job. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot to work on with skills and things of that nature. I do criticize him in that respect. But hey, more power to Rolly. Keep fighting, bro. Keep being a boxer. Keep growing in your craft. But I am against totally the robbery. I am totally against that, and I'm not trying to, cause, any negative feelings towards Rolly, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Am I right to say, Reggie, it's not Rolly's fault that the robbery occurred? Yeah, right? Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not on him. It's on these judges.
Exactly. So that's exactly what you said to a moment ago, that we put sometimes a lot of emphasis, the fighters under magnifying glass, but on the contrary, it should be more on the other guys, the dirty crooks, the dirty crooks with, ties, with suits and ties. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but what we saw last night definitely was. You know what I'm saying? So Rolly, continue doing what you're doing, man. Rolly, you keep growing, bro, in your skill and your craft, because, I definitely respect him as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Marinez, hats off to him, man. Amazing fighter. And I really hope, I hope he does, because it came out his own mouth. Rolly said he wants a rematch, and I think that's the only fair thing to do. Go rematch, and but with different judges, please. I mean, we'll see what happens in the future, and we'll see. But Reggie, do you actually, excuse me, before we get on to the other point, you think there's going to be a rematch, or there's just going to be they're just going to change the whole game up in that?
I think it's going to be a rematch. I mean, he got to rematch this one, because I don't know, where does he go? Where does he go? He's going to be.
Exactly.
It's you got to clear your name, man. You have to clear your name. You have to show merit, man, and that's what people want. He has to, if he feels like he won, just like Floyd, when he rematched the guys, when people felt like he lost and like the fighter cheated, he got back in there, and that happens on a lot of occasions. You can't just slip by and move on, because now people are gonna point at you, oh, you running from this dude. And now, like Oscar said, F this dude, Rolly. Don't we wasting our time. We got bigger fish to fry. And that's how people gonna look at him. Like, you still a small fish. You look like shit in that fight. So in order for Rolly to clean it up, maybe he's going to have to fight this guy again. But I think if anything, that other guy, Moran's, them boosted himself up. Now he's in the spotlight.
You know, when I saw that, what Oscar De La Hoya commented about, you know, screw Rolly and all that, you know, I was kind of thinking, hey, don't be too quick to point fingers, Oscar, because there are 3 pointing back at you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? I think he has done some shady deals with judges, just like Reggie said a moment ago about Canelo, right? I mean, like I said, nothing against Canelo. He's a great fighter, and everybody who knows my channel, I have criticized him too, yes, but I definitely respect Canelo as a fighter. Great fighter. He has a lot of heart. He's a strong guy, man. You know, he has skills. You know, I'm not knocking Canelo, but those guys with the suits. You know, so Oscar better, you know, he shouldn't be speaking too loud because there's a lot of fingers pointing at him too. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, Oscar he's known for some shady stuff also. But yeah, I mean, I really do hope there is a rematch, and we'll see what happens in the future, man. I mean, this is just crazy. And that's another thing, you know, I mean, social media, that's the advantage we got. Like Reggie was kind of alluding to right now. I'm going to go that, you know, social media, that's the advantage that we have. Boxing community, that's the advantage that we have. Fighters tune in. You know, not too long ago, I mentioned it before that, you know, Teofimo Lopez's father was tuning in to salute to D-Style. D-Style, go subscribe to D-Style. I was on his channel once. He invited me on a Hispanic Causing Panic show, and we were analyzing and talking about the fight, a possible fight between you know, or a fantasy matchup, I guess we can say, between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. And, you know, I was talking about, you know, I was saying, okay, Teofimo, I think he's a little bit more flat-footed than Devin Haney. And I was explaining that point. The reason why I say all this is because his father tuned in and he had some words for me, you know what I'm saying, in the chat there. I'm sorry, in the comment section. And I responded to him in a respectful manner, you know. But why I say this is because fighters, coaches, you know, they tune in on these channels. They tune in the boxing community. So they got an ear open for what the boxing community has to say. And that's the advantage that we have. You see what I'm saying? That's the advantage that we as boxing fans have. We have a platform. We have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is like before. It seemed like more of, you know, fighting boxing fans and sports fans in general would be a little bit too depending on the commentators, you know, on the mainstream, you know, platforms, you know, HBO, Showtime, et cetera, because those were the only prominent platforms. They still are, but now we have social media to our advantage. Now we have our own platforms where we can speak out, and it's the majority that's speaking out the same thing. You see, so that's the advantage. We keep pushing the message out there, keep pushing it, raising our voices about these injustices and these atrocities that happen in the sport of boxing so that things can change. I'm still optimistic. What about you, Reggie? Do you think, I mean, I'm still optimistic that things can change in the sport of boxing for the better. Do you think so, Reggie?
Yeah, I think with more voices and people showing their interest, when people show that they're like how people showing they're unhappy about what happened yesterday, it shows that there's a high level of interest and there's people who are observing these things and people who won't accept things, unlike how it used to be in the past. The fans have voices now. The fans have passionate voices, and the fans speak on what they will not accept, who they will not accept. And so, yeah, things are going to be forced to change. And otherwise, and these promoters, these networks don't want it because they need people here. The minute people start speaking negative of the sports, the minute people walk away. Because yesterday I was like, I'm about to sound like, because I used to trip when I watched Teddy Atlas when he used to be on ESPN. I used to be like, God damn, Teddy, shut the F up, because he always will trip, like go overboard, like with a bad decision, bad judgment. And now
yeah, he would.
I was like, man, I apologize to him because I see where the hell he was coming from. When you see like this.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's not cool. So, yeah, they're going to be forced to change because now it's a bunch of people with Teddy Atlas type voices.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes I would get worried for Teddy Atlas, man. I would worry for his health, man, because it looks like he would pop a vein in his forehead, man. It's funny stuff. It's comical, but at the same time, it's like, hey, bro, slow down, Teddy, you know, because it looks like, you know, might be bad for his health, for his blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. He's a funny character, man, a cool guy, you know. But Sweat Fast, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't think I've seen you before. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like, bro. Go ahead and share this stream, man. Go ahead and check out our platform. Go ahead and check out my channel, man. Go ahead and check out my honorable guest, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. We also got a series going on, bro. Sweat Fast. And everybody else who's tuning in who maybe doesn't know our channel, you know the channel here. We have a wonderful series called Boxing Then and Now. Brother Reggie's there. We got some OGs, you know, scholars in the sport of boxing, you know, Stormy B, Curtis Anderson. We got that going on. We just finished series number 5, part 5 of the series. So go check it out, man. And go subscribe to my guy, Reggie Owens. Go subscribe, you know, to the others in the chat here. I am Ill Will, you know, go subscribe to him. You know, got some great content also. I mean, you know, other fighters, other people on the channel here who got their channels. I mean, go ahead and subscribe, man. Thanks so much for tuning in. Sweat Fast. I think it's your first time here. I haven't seen you before, so it's all good, man. We're a community. We are one community for the love of the sport of boxing, family. So, I mean, great stuff we're talking about here. So, I reiterate just to conclude this point as far as Raleigh, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to him. You know, he's a young buck, you know what I'm saying? He's a man, but, you know, he's grown in the sport. Got some things to work on with his craft and skill, but he has some power, which is awesome. Keep growing, Rolly. I want to give you a shout out, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the performance you gave last night, man. And keep giving it your all. Keep growing. Go back to the drawing board, bro, and keep doing what you do, bro. And also, hats off to Marinez, and we hope that they have a rematch, definitely, man. So. Let me get a breather here. Whew, I love it, man. This session's on fire. I love it. And so. David Benavidez. We're going to get to this. David Benavidez. Also, man, platforms are going off about this. Boxing community is also talking about this. What happened with Benavidez before the fight. Now, let me point something out. Okay? In the post press conference, you know, I like to pay attention a lot what fighters say, you know, in interviews and things like that. And the post fight press conference after the fight against Angulo, Benavidez was talking about the weight issue, okay? And he said something along these lines, and I'm pretty sure this is what he said around the message that I was getting at. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt I'm wrong, okay? He said something along the lines of, I'm not quoting, but I'm paraphrasing, okay, as close as I can. He said something like this: I don't have respect for those, or I find it disrespectful for those who say that I'm not disciplined in the ring. Check out the preposition that he used, in the ring. And I agree with him, okay? Because what he does in the ring is great. What he did last night, great stuff. Enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't watch the whole fight. I think I'll get back to it later. But also for the time, you know, I was kind of getting late last night, so I had to go take a shower, do some stuff. But you know, what he did in the ring was great. I love what I saw. You know what I'm saying? It's a typical Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Great fighter in the ring. You know, so, I mean, I agree with that. What he did, what he does in the ring, okay? And he talked about, you know, I don't have respect, or I disrespect, or he said something along those lines. I find it disrespectful for people who criticize me of not having discipline in the ring. And I agree. But the problem is what he does out the ring. Okay, that's the focus here, and that's where the criticism is coming out, you know, against David Benavidez. Now, you go years back, everybody knows it, it's been repeated time and time again, but it's necessary to talk about it because we got to get the voice out there. Okay, so let me go back real quick. Hold on to the comments. Sweat Fast, go ahead and share this, bro. If you got any friends and family, whatever, who like boxing, go ahead and share it, bro, because we're talking about some good stuff here. So what we're talking about, and what the boxing community is talking about, is what Benavidez has done out the ring. We all know, and like I said, getting back to what I was saying, everybody's talking about it, and it's necessary to talk about this and repeat it. Got to get the voice out there. Benavidez years ago lost his belt, and that's why I put here on the thumbnail. He lost his belt again, and it's and the reason why I say that, it doesn't mean that, oh, what a shame you lost the belt. You know, generally speaking, to fighters. Fighters lose their belts by putting up great fights, and they lose. Oh, well, you know what I mean? But David Benavidez lost his belt for the second time because of his own lack of disciplinary issues. What was the first one? Y'all know it. Cocaine. I mean, he popped dirty for cocaine, lost his belt. Now he lost weight. He missed weight. He missed weight, lost his belt. Now, we're going to get to Reggie in a moment right here. I personally think that there's no excuse to lose weight, right? And a lot of platforms are saying that too. And, I'm joining the community in that. I am joining them and I agree. Maybe not all platforms agree on everything. No, but I do agree on that David Benavidez has no excuse for missing weight. Look at and he likes to talk about that, right? Which is cool. It's all good. I get it. I mean, I respect it. Benavidez, I've been, I had the belt for 6 years and I've been a champ for 6 years. I lose weight once, I miss weight once, and now I'm getting criticized, something along that lines, right? I understand that, bro, but that should give you more reason not to miss weight. You see what I'm saying? That should give you more reason, being a champ so long, being a professional for so long, being at that elite status as far as belts is concerned, I guess, right? Like I said, I'm not too big on belts, but, being so long a champion, then that should give you more reason not to miss weight. You see? I mean, that's why I think it's not acceptable to be missing weight, especially as a champ like that, man. I think that David Benavidez should take the criticism as constructive criticism and get back to discipline, bro. I mean, that really looks bad. Him missing weight like that. I think there's no excuse. Yes, I get it. And I've said it too. I've said it in lives before. I've said it and I confess it and I admit it and it's because it's true. Fighters right now, they don't have the same accessibility or the same freedom and opportunities and team around them in this crazy pandemic stuff that we're going through. Training is limited. The way that fighters train now is probably not the same as they trained before this whole pandemic stuff is going on. Craziness is going on. Gyms are closed. There's a limit of time in the gyms. But I don't think there's an excuse. Because the type of success that Benavidez has, he should have his own gym. He should have his own, he has connections. Fighters of that stature have the connections and know how to move things to keep their weight in check and to get proper training, to get your proper training in check. I don't think there's an excuse. What do you think, Reggie?
You can't make an excuse. He's a champion, and to get to that level, you have to separate yourself from people. He knows he's in a weight class, and weight is the optic word in that shit, and he knows to stay at a certain level. Otherwise, and he knows what happens if you don't. It's all about being professional. It's all about being disciplined. And that's something he knew. He's been making enough money. If weight is an issue, he should have hired a nutritionist, better strength and conditioning coaches. They should have knew where his weight was at before they even got to the scales. He shouldn't have been off by 3 pounds. There's no way he, being a professional, that he misses it by 3 pounds. And he knows what happened when he loses the title. The money goes away. So it shows discipline there. And your whole thought of planning out the future, looking at the future, because he should be thinking about the future because he always talking ahead, talking about Caleb Plant, not focusing on what the matter at hand. You looking through this guy, speaking about the other guys you're looking to compete against. This is, calling them out their names, disrespecting them. So that means you should be locked in and engaged and not putting yourself in position to lose on the scale. I mean, getting busted for the cocaine, that's discipline. That's definitely discipline. That's a substance issue. It ain't something you can just shake like that. He probably putting that shit in his nose still. I hope he ain't. But then you also got the food issue. That was his issue going in. That was his issue coming into the sport, was weight. Him being a 250-pound kid as a young amateur. So weight is always the chronic issue with Benavidez. He already big as hell fighting at this division. But talent-wise, man, there's no way this kid should let something like this slip by because he's too talented. He's very gifted, but he's gifted for this division. Them cats at 175, I see nothing but disciplined cats in that division. 175 full of disciplined, strong-ass dudes up there. And Benavidez, He has quick hands. He breaks fighters down, but those dudes out there can punch and they break shit down too up at 175. So he better get in shape or go ahead and move up into the shark pool, man.
Ouch. Ouch. I don't think that would be a good decision for him. Now, let me get to the chat real quick. There's some good stuff to talk here about this, what's going on. D Hodge just said something important here. Let me interesting what D Hodge just said. Let me go back up here in the chat real quick. Just bear with me a couple seconds. Yep. D Hodge just says here, when we're talking about social media and the advantages that we have as a community speaking out, we got people fired. Paulie laughing out loud. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, now these big, platforms, these major platforms, they're tuning in. They're tuning in to the community now. You know what I'm saying? Because the community's speaking out. We have a voice, ladies and gentlemen. So that should inspire us. That should encourage us to keep pushing. And that's why we should keep sharing. That's why we should keep supporting, platforms like this, platforms like Reggie Owens, platforms like, all the other ones, Stormy B, et cetera, et cetera. So many platforms out there. I'm saying, look, we got to support each other. We got to share. We got to be one in this. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen. It's awesome stuff, man. We got power. That's what I'm talking about. Derek Bailey facts. D Hodges says, I wonder who's going to fight for, the vacant title. I know that's what we're going to talk about right now. Another disappointment. Chance closer to undisputed. Chance closer to undisputed. Reggie, you're good at with the words and stuff. Can you figure that out? Was that chance what? Closer? Closer.
Oh wait, chance closer to
closer. Yeah.
I wonder. Boom boom.
It's because I couldn't get the word closer. It's closer. I think you wanted to put closer. That's what it was.
You meant put any chance of getting close. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah, because you're good at that. You're good at that, Reggie. I've noticed that. I wonder who's going to. So I'm going to repeat it. I wonder who's going to fight for the vacant title. Another disappointed chance closer to undisputed. Exactly. Yeah, big disappointment. Now, let me get to the chat real quick because I got something to say about that. Okay, so are we ever going to get? Who knows, man? Who knows? D Hodges in all divisions. Exactly, in all divisions. Who knows, man? The dirty, disgusting head of politics sticks its disgusting nose in the fighting game. So that's what it is, man. Politics, man. We've been talking about in our the series Boxing Then and Now. I mean, we're talking all about that stuff, man. Historically and how it affects now, definitely, man. So he knew what he had to do as a champion. No way he should have. I know, man. Ogden, you're right on, man. You're right on about that. That's why I'm disappointed. That's why I made this thumbnail. And that's why I made that guy in the corner, shaking his head. I'm sure you guys have seen it, the GIF, the GIF, right? Of that guy shaking his head in the corner there on the side, on the far right-hand side. That's exactly why I put that, because it's a shame. It's a shame, man, for a champion to I mean, Benavidez is great. Like Reggie just said, a guy of that talent, a champion, former champion, and now a former champion of that talent and skill that he has, to be missing weight, that's just not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm late. What do you mean you're sorry, man? You're good. You're in. You're on time. You're all good, Bruscos. Thank you so much for joining, man. Definitely. You're good, bro. You're on time, brother. It's all good. Salute Reggie Owens. That's what I'm talking about. Derek saluting Brusco. It's all good. D Hodges continues to say, shake my head. Ruiz is the yeah. Oh, man. Bill Hedges, don't even get me started on that one, bro. Oh, man. You're definitely right on that one. That was a big disappointment. Big disappointment. Especially me, I'm Mexican. I'm living down here in Mexico. I'm living it down here. You know what I'm saying? Been here for more than a decade. You know what I'm saying? Born here. So, Ruiz is the worst. The first Mexican, oh my gosh. Came in, out of shape, Mexico upset. Definitely. You're right, man. I got nothing to say against that. You're totally right. I got nothing to say against facts. You're totally right. Derek Bailey, salute fam. Definitely Ogden. He knew that he had to do as a champion. He should have made that weight. And that's another upset for me. I'm not the biggest thing, when it comes to races and stuff like that. I mean, I support facts. That's what I do. I've said it time and time again also on my channel. I think I started really saying this when I pushed out a live to get my point across. I pushed out a live some time ago. I think it was more than a year ago. It was called Race Wars and Boxing. I think it's called Race Wars and Boxing. I think I pushed out a live talking about that. I titled it that. And I talked about me. I'm on the side of the fighter who has skills, skills and dedication, et cetera, discipline, all things that I represent here on the platform, all the things that I represent, with the series that we're pushing, those things that I push, I'm saying, that's what I represent, I'm saying. And, but for me, it's another thing here, like what D Hodges is saying, for a Mexican champ. Same thing with Benavidez, even though he's technically, I think Benavidez is a Mexican American. He was born over there in the States, but I got that Mexican blood, and it's a big shame, man. I mean, I got no other way to say it there, man. So definitely, Brusco's going to say here, Reggie knows the vernacular of the game. Yes, man. Yes, he does. Definitely, man. That's why I got him here, man. What does that mean, man? Can somebody? I'm sorry. What's vernacular mean? I'm not good with big words like that, bro. What does that mean, Reggie?
Oh, the language of the words.
Okay. Oh yeah, like in the chat, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. That's why I actually referred to Reggie. That's why I needed him to help me in that one in the other text, in the comment. He needs to rep Phoenix better than that. Yeah, bro. And it kind of hurts me more because I grew up in Arizona, man. My heart is over there. I grew up in Mesa, Arizona, man. East Mesa to be exact. So matter of fact, a Phenomenal Mexican, I could recommend some nice spots over there for you, bro. If you like to go out to eat, Superstition Springs Mall, it's a nice mall, by the freeway, Superstition Springs, it's a nice relaxing mall. I've been there growing up, man, went there time and time again, constantly, man. So I can recommend some nice spots for you there, bro. East Mesa, baby. It's what's about, man. My heart is over there. So that's the thing. He does have to represent Phoenix better. Definitely, man. The Valley of the Sun. That's what I'm talking about. So, Brusco is clarifying that the language. It's all good. So now let's get to this point. We're talking about Benavidez and the things that he screwed up. That's the things that he screwed up for himself. Everything has ramifications. Everything has consequences. When we're talking about this type of level of status of fighting, of elite level in a division. Okay. Now it seems like Caleb Plant is out the door fighting Caleb Plant. Reggie, did you see after this when Benavidez missed weight? It went viral instantly. If I'm not mistaken, Caleb Plant, there was a video of him or something. He was crying or something. What was that about? Was it about this, or was that just something that they posted just to? Was that about this? Did you see that? Did you see that video of Caleb Plant, like he was crying in front of the camera or something like that?
Yeah, it was Plant clowning him.
Oh. Well, can you explain? I don't know. I didn't get the details on that video. I just saw it real quick and I didn't really pay attention. What was it about, though? Like, how was he clowning him?
Yeah, he's just shedding a tear. Like, this dude talk all this shit. Can't stay disciplined. Now he messes up the opportunity. And plus, Plant looking at it like it costs him money, too, because that could have been a big money fight. So they both lose out. But now this dude loses even more because who knows how far he goes down in the ranks. And before he get a big name fight, well, they all need big name fights, but that would have been a fight that everybody wanted to see. Now it gets pushed back.
Now, getting to that with Plant, every time, ever since that, Caleb Plant and Benavidez had this beef, me on social media, I don't think I pushed a video on it, though. I don't think I have, but I think I did mention something about Caleb Plant in one of my videos. I don't know when, but on social media, I have. Excuse me. Social media, I have, and I am for Caleb Plant if they ever were to fight back then before Benavidez messed it up. I was always for Plant being the better boxer against Benavidez. I have always been on the standpoint of Caleb Plant would box out Benavidez. That's my personal opinion on it. But then again, I don't think Plant has been tested with power punches like Benavidez, because Benavidez is a really skilled fighter. We saw it with Angelo. Even maybe Angelo wasn't the best competition or whatever, but I mean, he was a tough guy, right? And he was throwing in some beautiful uppercuts on inside punches to the body. I'm saying, hooks to Angelo. So Benavidez, he boxes well, but he's quite flat-footed in my humble opinion. And I think a fighter like Caleb Plant would just possibly, I'm not saying it would be like that, but possibly would just box possible circles around Benavidez. That's just my humble opinion. I think Caleb Plant can beat. I think I got Caleb over Benavidez in a fight, but unfortunately now we don't know what's going to happen in that sense. So we don't know. Like now it's kind of like unpredictable. We don't know. Now there are talks, people saying out there in media that WBC is going to give him another chance. I don't doubt it. Okay. I don't doubt them giving, Mauricio Suleiman. I don't doubt he'll give him a chance. He will give Benavidez another chance. I don't doubt that can happen. Okay. We've seen it happen. You know, y'all know the controversy with that, with how it seems like Suleiman favors certain fighters. And it's shown through actions. I'm just going to give you a quick example. This was one that stuck out. I made a video on this. When Canelo was going to fight Daniel Jacobs, okay, they were fighting for, I think they were fighting for the WBC and Jacobs, I think it was IBF title, something like that. But what I'm trying to get at here is this. You know, Mauricio, you know how he does it time and time again. They make that Mayan belt or whatever. I get it looks beautiful, but I mean, it's just I don't find a purpose in it. But you know, they made some Mayan Aztec whatever belt. Okay, no disrespect to the culture, but you know, to the history of what it is and what it represents. But as far as a belt, why do you do that? You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So what happened was, I don't know if you remember this, Reggie, or people in the chat remember. I made a video on it. Expressing this because it stuck out to me, and I was like, how disrespectful was that? That was just uncalled for. What happened is in the face-off, okay, one of the face-offs, Canelo and Daniel Jacobs were facing off, and they had the you know, they faced off, they finished, Mauricio was in the center or something like that, and then what happened, it was after the face-off, Daniel Jacobs was like, you know, they were done, it was over, the face-off is done, let's go walk away, whatever. And what happened was Mauricio pulled out the Mayan belt for a picture with the Mayan belt. And it seemed like he conveniently had Canelo take a picture with him with the Mayan belt and not having Jacobs in the photo. Because Jacobs was like, you know, they finished the face-off. And Jacobs was around there, though. He was obviously near there. He just walked out of the face-off there. You know, I guess he was getting his clothes on or something like that, right? His shirt on or whatever. And Mauricio didn't even call Jacobs to have the fight, the photo with the Mayan belt. I mean, suppose this was before the fight. You know, this was a face-off before the fight, a day before the fight or whatever, or a couple days. I don't even know when it was. But, I mean, to be fair, Mauricio should have had both fighters there holding the belt, you know, for the photos. Why did Mauricio wait for Jacobs to kind of leave? And why didn't he say, hey, wait, Jacobs, wait here so we can all take the photo with the Mayan belt? Because you guys are going to, you know, the winner is going to receive this. He didn't call Jacobs to stay for the photo. That looked to me, okay, I made a video about it. That's why I made a video about it, because it looked like a big bias to me. That looked totally uncalled for. And why the heck are you just having a photo taken with the belt with Canelo and not with Jacobs? You know, Jacob is going to fight too. What are you doing? Just knocking him on the side and, no, you're not going to be in this picture, Jacobs. You can go ahead and go aside over there. We're going to take the picture with his Mayan belt. You know, I even said in that video, I think I did say it like that, or I put it in social media. I definitely did in social media. I said, oh, yeah, here we go again with, you know, making belts for Canelo, huh? You know, like I said, nothing against Canelo. No, it's the suits. You know, it's the suits who make these weird, stupid decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's foolish what he did. And the reason why I say all this is because it looks like sometimes our actions speak louder than words. I think most of the time our actions speak louder than words. And Suleiman's actions seem to favor other fighters. Sometimes it seems like he kind of biases them, favors them. That's why I say, the reason why I say this is that's why media, social media platforms are speaking out, saying that it's a big possibility that he's going to give Benavidez another chance. Do you think that can happen, Reggie, or won't happen?
With that racist host Suleiman, of course he is. He Mexican fighters have great favor with Mauricio. You seen how Freshan had to beg back for her belt when the lady who was transitioned to become a man pops hot on steroids.
Yeah.
Mauricio, quick defense of her. You see the same favor Luis Neri, who's coming back into being a champion after felon for drugs. Luis Neri missing weight I think Luis Neri missed weight by something like, was it something like 8 pounds or something? Could have been more than that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and the fighter who he's supposed to fight was like, forget that. We're gonna teach him a lesson. We ain't taking no fines or nothing. We ain't fighting this guy. None of us getting paid. Just Mauricio has a different way in which he goes about the sport when it deals with Mexican fighters. And like stated, he probably gonna give Benavidez opportunity to fight for this vacant title that's out there. Just same way when Benavidez was suspended for his cocaine cheating. He got right back into the hunt of being able to fight for that belt again. why it was vacant. The same thing with Canelo. Canelo gets suspended for PEDs. Did he strip the belt away? No. He left it right there for Canelo. And then, like you speaking about the Mayan belt, the other twisted shit he does, and about what he did with Danny Jacobs. Mauricio don't like black fighters, and I put that shit clear as day. You see the treatment Wilder gets. Wilder was never given favor with them. Fury gets all sorts of favor. And then to see the most disrespectful shit. I always think it's disrespectful when I see like the Telemundo thing and how the actors don't reflect nothing that looks like Mexicans that I know. And I grew up around Mexicans. And then to see a Mayan belt put on the line for the most Nordic looking white people in the sport of boxing being Wild. I think it was the Wilding fight and Tyson Fury, where he puts a Mayan belt up for grabs for them. They have nothing close to Mayan ancestry, but you put a belt on the line for some folks like that. But Mauricio's a clown, man. This WBC craps makes no sense. The same thing you see with what he has allowed with he has allowed to go down with this franchising of people. The minute there's great risk for these for a fighter like Canelo, where the possible heir to the thrones or possible young black fighters, he allows Canelo to do this crap to avoid them. And being that early on, franchise title does not transfer, doesn't pass along. But now you move into Lomachenko getting it. When Devin Haney was right in that position, along with Tank Davis being in that position, it was the same thing for Lomachenko. He did not have to fight them, blase, blase, blah. And if they did fight, Lomachenko would still be the representative of being a franchise champion because it doesn't transfer to these guys. Now he gets another guy who's getting the opportunity to fight Lomachenko with a South American ancestry. Now all of a sudden the rules have changed, and now this guy can transfer into being a franchise champion. You see how quick he was to strip Devin Haney of the title and then give the opportunity to another South American fighter along with a European fighter. So it just shows, all this shit shows with Mauricio, and it ain't no way to hide it. Race is always a factor in this game, and this is why race should always be pointed out and addressed when it comes to this game. I didn't like Mauricio when I heard him make a damn it ain't even with, like, mainly what he does with these fighters. When I heard Mauricio try to tell a story when it came to it was Ali's past birthday, and he tells a story that was nothing but pure disrespect of Muhammad Ali. And it was about how him as a kid and Muhammad Ali's in his room and asks him which way to pray towards Mecca, as if Muhammad Ali wouldn't find the direction. So he's trying to say in the story that he pointed Muhammad Ali into the wrong direction as he knelt down and prayed to Allah. And then he was speaking about they had some banquet and Ali was hungry and he brought some food over there and Ali's just eating it. And he's talking about, oh, this is good. And his dad or someone asked what he gave him, and it turned out to be pork. It was just, the stories were fabricated as hell, but ways of pointing out his disrespect to Ali by trying to make it comical. And I seen right through that shit. Like I see through most racist shit.
Wow. My internet kind of cut off a little bit, and you kind of cut off as far as on my part. What were you saying a little bit about Telemundo? How Telemundo like expresses what is not the Mexican culture? How can you get back to that real quick? Because I'm gonna add to that.
Yeah, when I see Telemundo and all the actors look white, they look more white than the actors that are down here.
Okay.
And
okay.
I'm like, I know Mexicans. Mexicans don't look like this. Like,
of course. Okay. Now, okay. Let me get in on this. I thought you said that. I thought you were saying that you were going to allude to that and explain that. But then my internet cut off, and then I'm right back. So, exactly. I'm here. I live in Mexico, man. I'm here. I live here. Been here for. I mentioned a moment ago, and I constantly mention it so that people know I'm not. When I talk about like I said, I reiterate. Nothing against Canelo. No, I mean, great fighter. You know what I'm saying? If I were to meet him, I would say, hey, how's it going, champ? You know what I mean? Definitely. All my respect to fighters. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they are, whatever race they are. It's just that I speak things how they are. That's it. 100. Guys, get it out there how it is. I speak what it is. And here in Mexico, man, I even commented it to a friend here at work. I'd say, don't you know that? Haven't you seen that? And he said, yeah, definitely, of course. When it comes to like, I've even mentioned this. I think it was in Race Wars and Boxing. That live I did a while ago. It was before I had any guests on or anything. I was just throwing out spontaneous lives here and there. I talked about that, man. I said that it's not a coincidence that here the same thing. The commercials mostly white, you know. Here, man, I'm talking about Mexico. I mean, you really don't have dark complexioned people in commercials on TV programs. Maybe you see them here and there, but it's really not common at all. You see mostly white people, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have anything against, like I said, man, I'm not talking about like, you know, I'm against white. No, of course not. It's just that it's something that you see and it's really relevant. You know what I mean? And I mean, you're totally spot on that, Reggie Owens. You're definitely right because, and we also see it down here in the country of Mexico. We see the same thing. You know what I mean? Promoting, lighter skinned people promoting products and commercials and TV programs and soap operas, et cetera, et cetera. We see it all over the place, man. Same thing here. So, I mean, it's true. It's true. It is what it is, man. So yeah, man. So we're getting back to that we're trying to explain our point of that. Our point of it's a big possibility that Benavidez will get another shot. I mean, he'll probably get, preferential treatment, but we'll see what happens, man. Actually, I was going to mention this. If he does get preferential treatment, I don't think it's going to happen, but, this is just a desire I would have. I would like to see him fight Canelo. It looks like Canelo's not really fighting the best, great competition out there anyway, as it is, but I would like to see him fight Canelo. I would like to see Canelo give him a good fight, man. Good fight, good challenge. People have been calling that out too, but I don't think that's going to happen at all. So also, what do you know about this, Reggie, about Jermall Charlo? I think he was talking about fighting Benavidez also. Was he? When was that? Or I heard something along the lines. I didn't really research on that. Was he calling out Benavidez recently?
Oh, see, I didn't see nothing about that, but that'll be a tough fight, man. I'm gonna go. That's gonna be a tough fight. I like Charlo, but I think Benavidez will probably get that.
Wow. Yeah, because I'm not sure. I mean, community right here in the chat. I think I heard something. I may be wrong. That's why I'm not really talking too much about it. But I think I heard something along the lines that I think is when he recently called out Benavidez or the belt. Now that he sees it's in the air now, of getting the belt, man. So like moving up to get that belt, man. So we'll see, man. It would be interesting stuff, man. Definitely. But we'll see what happens with Benavidez, man. I'm kind of getting close to finishing. Got to do some stuff here around the house. Man, Reggie, it was great having you, bro. I thank everybody who tuned in today, man. All you guys, man. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. Don't remember to like. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this, family. Share this live, with Reggie Owens. And Lord willing, guys, we're going to have Boxing Then and Now next Saturday. You good for next Saturday, Reggie?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Definitely, man. So we can go throw out part 6. Got a very interesting topic that we're going to talk about in Boxing Then and Now series, part 6 for Saturday. I think we're going to start a little bit later, like maybe 30 minutes later, because I got my work now. I'm starting to get out a little bit later, but it's all good. We can still push it out, definitely. Thank everybody so much for tuning in. Reggie, got any last words for the chat? Where can they follow you, subscribe?
Oh, yeah, man. Thank y'all for coming through, man. I'm on my, both of my channels, Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. The backup pet channel just has a 2 on the end. I put content on both of them. I'm getting way too many strikes on my second page because of the content I like to upload. So strikes ain't shit to me because I like putting up the content that I put up for the information and just to keep people up on game. I don't believe in a PC culture, watering things down. I see that going on a lot on YouTube, and I'm trying to resist it because there's a lot of content that you just don't find on here no more. I look for so much stuff that I used to always see, and it's been removed because they're PCing the hell out of everything. So I run the risk. I always run that on Instagram. I get suspended on there. I get suspended on Facebook. But now they're starting to lapse up, get lax on how strict they were on things. So I'm not facing so many strikes on there. I'm on Facebook as well as Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens, I think, and also Instagram. I post a lot of comical, not always boxing related, societal stuff. I'll show things that are going on when it relates to civil injustices in the country. My Instagram is Reggie76544 is my Instagram, and Box Conversation here on YouTube. But I use both of the platforms now. I really don't push my channel on Instagram, but this week I've been putting up a lot of my boxing stuff just to show people the disgusting side of boxing. And I'm like, maybe I'll start using my other social media platforms just based on what happened today. So maybe I'll push stuff off of there, but I'm mainly keeping boxing stuff off of my Instagram and Facebook. But right here is boxing, and everything else I put on Instagram as well. So I'm broad when it comes to this boxing thing, because I think life is kind of a picture of what boxing is. Everything you can think of in life is encompasses what boxing is, and so I relate and interconnected. So that's why people see a lot of non-boxing related stuff on my channel, because it's all related. But that's all I got, bro.
Definitely, man. Hey, Reggie, can you stay just a couple minutes after the live when I close it? All right, I wanted to ask something.
All right, for sure.
Cool. Thank you guys again. So, and I think I forgot to shout out Sierra F. I'm so sorry, girl, man. I'm so sorry if I forgot to shout you out, girl. Salute to you. Thank you so much. Peace out, family. Till next week to continue our boxing then and now. Peace out, family.